Alright, look, I'm 24 years old and I work a corporate job. I'm in corporate America. I got a 9 to 5 and I'm taking a leave from work right now. Look, I know a lot of you guys are in the same position I am, working that 9 to 5, getting on the work grind, just not feeling fulfilled. Look, I was working 12-hour graveyard shifts. That's my schedule. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's one of the worst shifts. Like graveyard, it really does something to your mental and just to your routine. It messes up your mind. You wake up when the world is winding down, you miss sunlight, you miss moments, and you miss life. Like, that schedule on your days off, you miss a day because you're waking up at like 5, 6 p.m. and you're tired. And like that day is basically gone. So you feels like all my graveyard shift people out there, you guys know what I'm talking about. It feels like you just miss a day off. But anyways, I would clock in, every night, go on the grind, but just deep down I knew I wasn't building anything for myself. So a couple days ago, I made the decision to take a leave from work. And it's not because I had another job lined up, not because I have something all figured out and I know exactly what I'm doing, but because I just know that if I don't take a step back right now, I'm going to end up regretting it later. And so here's what's happening, and here's why, this might be something you can consider too, if it aligns with your goals and if you're able to. So let's be clear, I'm not unemployed, okay? I'm just on a leave of absence. Fortunately, because I'm a salaried leader at my job, I can go on this leave and still get 60% of my pay. So I know a lot of people, if you were to go on a leave on your job, this isn't always possible for you guys, but fortunately I'm in a position to where I can receive, still a little bit of money and then spend my time doing something rather than clocking into work every day. I know everyone doesn't have that option. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying this is like magic formula, but for me, it kind of feels necessary. Look, I was burnt out, not just physically, but mentally. Waking up late afternoon, rushing to eat, driving to work as the sun sets, working all night under those fluorescent lights. It's just doing it. It was 4 days a week, but the graveyards, like, they will add up to you. I was becoming a zombie. I had no energy, no time for my passions, no time to create, no motivation to move, and that was just kind of where I'm at. I've been saying for months I wanted to get in shape, start posting content. I have a side hustle with real estate, trying to get that going, study markets, level up, whatever all that stuff is. But after a 12-hour shift, man, like, come on. I know they say the real work starts once you clock out of your job, but it wasn't just in me. I needed to sleep because in 12 hours I had to be at work the next day. So after I would get off work, it was shower, eat, and sleep, and then I'm right back at work. So this decision to take a leave, it wasn't easy. It kind of feels risky, even selfish at first, because I'm leaving my team and like kind of came out of nowhere. Didn't really give a heads up. It was just kind of something where I need to do this right now. Like, who am I to step away from a steady paycheck? But I then realized if I keep pouring into a system that leaves me empty, eventually there's gonna be nothing left. I'm not useful. I'm not useful to anybody, not my job, not myself, if I'm always running on fumes. So here's how I'm spending my time with this leave, because this is the most important part. It's not about going on this leave, okay, chilling, and then coming back, 2, 3, 6 months later, and then what have you done? What have I done with my time? So it's been about a week now since I started my leave, and here's just kind of how I'm spending my time off. First thing is content creation. I'm trying to get into this content creation, making YouTube, and kind of treating like this YouTube channel like it could be like a new quote-unquote job. I'm spending time, learning how to write, how to record, how to edit, and it kind of feels good to wanna or to create something that's of my own, that I'm not just doing what a boss is telling me all day long. Second thing is I'm into real estate. I'm a realtor, and it's just something that I want to put more time in, because I feel like there's a lot of value into developing a real estate career and just learning about property and going to find clients and working and just trying to get leads. So I haven't made $1 million in it, but so far I've gained knowledge and connections, and I've never would have gotten if I was keeping doing this 9 to 5 grind. Fitness, I've always been in the gym. Growing up, I've always been able to kind of stay fit and work out, but when it's a schedule like this, I feel like I'm only able to go 2 to 3 days a week. But now, since I've gone in this leave, I've kind of been doing 2 a days now, and it's just helped with my body image, my confidence, and just how I feel. Mental clarity, like I'm started journaling every morning, writing out plans, saying what I'm grateful for, and just being able to have time to reflect on myself. I began meditating, made a habit of sitting quietly with my thoughts, and it just sounds simple, but I didn't realize how much I needed this until I tried it. As a result, the mental fog kind of begins to clear, and I feel more focused, more creative, and calmer than ever. So yeah, technically I'm not working, but I'm definitely working on myself. Each day has a purpose, and for the first time in a long time, I woke up genuinely excited about my day. But the craziest thing about all of this is that even though I'm not working at my job, I feel more productive than ever. You know, at my job, right, I'm busy, I'm quote unquote busy all day. Whatever that means to you guys. Writing emails, putting out fires, managing people. I was a manager, so just dealing with people. And I would often just come at home wondering, what did I actually do today that meant something to me? Right? I'll spend hours either working on a video, writing a script, analyzing a real estate deal, and it feels like no time has passed at all, because when I'm in like the flow state, I just feel like I'm working on something purposeful. And that goes a long way. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying life is now some easy paradise. I'm hustling still, but on my own terms. Sure, some nights I'll work on a video, some mornings I feel sore from the gym, whatever, but the difference is everything that I'm doing now directly benefits me in the future I'm trying to build, rather than me clocking into my job. And sure, okay, if I work hard for the next 1 year and 2 years, I can get a promotion. But every little single task that I'm doing every single day doesn't hold any value to what I see myself doing. I've learned that being productive isn't about a boss handing you 100 tasks. It's about doing what truly matters to you. And by that definition, stepping away from my 9 to 5 has made me more productive than ever. Now, I just want to hit pause for a second and acknowledge something important. I know not everyone can do what I'm doing. You might have family relying on that 100% paycheck or loans and bills to pay. I get it. I'm not saying everyone can just walk away from their job. I had some advantages, a bit of savings, no dependents, and an employer that just let me take the leave. Not everyone has that. That said, if you do even have a small opening to step away and realign your life, you should very much consider it. Maybe it's not a full leave, it could be a couple weeks between jobs to really recharge, or cutting back on overtime to use hours on your side hustle. But the point is, life is more than just grinding away without ever coming up for air. Sometimes you have to step back to see the bigger picture, and for me, I'm in a few months off to get my head and heart straight. For you, it could be something completely different, but don't dismiss the idea of a strategic pause. In a world that's telling us to go faster, choosing to pause can be a powerful move for your long-term game. Look, it's not easy stepping off the traditional classic routine that I have, but I'm making it very important that the night before I'll plan my days for tomorrow. When I want to go to the gym, when I want to go talk to leads for some real estate, when I want to work on writing a script for my YouTube channel. Look, I'm happier, I'm healthier, and I'm more focused now than I ever was chasing someone else's deadlines. This break has taught me that quitting and realigning are two different things. I didn't quit working hard to making a living. I quit doing what felt meaningless. I'm stopping climbing someone else's ladder and starting to build my own, aligning my work with my values. If you're feeling stuck in a rut or burning out, and you have even a sliver of an opportunity to step back, it's worth considering. It might be the scariest thing you do, and some people might think you've lost your mind, but it could also be the decision that saves you from a life of regret and what-ifs. I'm not a guru or anything. I'm just a guy who got a little lucky that I'm able to take this leave, and I just made a choice. All I can do right now is share my story and what I've learned. Whether I decide to go back to my 9 to 5, which I probably will, but this leave might be for a while. I know I'll look back and I'll thank myself for taking this break when I had the chance. Sometimes you have to lose sight of the shore to chart a new course. Taking a leave from work was me pushing off into uncharted waters. Scary, yeah, but also exciting. And who knows, you might find that giving yourself a little time and space is exactly what you need to figure out where you really want to go. Thanks for listening. I hope my story kind of gives you guys something to think about. Stay true to yourself. Take care of your mind and body. Until next time, peace out.